All right, so this is very exciting because it doesn't matter how badass of a system you have. If your software is not optimized, you're not going to get the desired results, okay? So what I want to show you is I'm going to take you through a couple of different settings to get the smoothest playback. So if I go under my color page right now and show you what I got going on, you can see there's a bunch of different nodes happening, and especially this guy right here is the biggest culprit, noise reduction. And if I play it through, look at the frame rates right here. This is after having multiple graphic cards, 64 gigs of RAM, 10 core processor, 1 terabyte flash drive, and a studio RAID with 700 read and write speed. It's still doing this. So what's happening? What can we do to make this better? Right now we're at around, let's say, 11 frames. How can we make it better? So the first thing we can try, you just want to make sure that there's nothing running in the background. Turn off all your applications and just have Resolve being the only application on your system actively running. So that's one. Two, go in your settings, right here in your master settings, timeline resolution, you can reduce it easily to 1080p. And that's what I recommend when you're color grading or editing. It does not reduce the quality. You will not see any loss, and especially when you're outputting, you can bump it up, force it to full res, so you don't have to worry about that. Let me just play it back again and see if it improves the performance. And right there, it did the trick. Look at that. Now it's playing in 24 frames. Just by doing that, we doubled our frame rate. And even after having the noise reduction and same note tree, we're getting a perfect playback. So that's one way to optimize your media. I always work in 1080p timeline. Let me just go back to 4K timeline. I want to show you different ways you can optimize your media. So let's just say it's back to 4K, and if I do a playback now, we should be down to 11, 12 frames again. So what can we do? I'll turn this off for now, and then right under your playback, you got a couple of different settings. One, we can optimize this media, which means we can transcode it, or we can mess with these modes so we can play this footage, which is 4K. Let me just click on it and look at it. So it's 4K right here, my resolution. So I can go right here, go under playback and say, you know, why don't you play at half resolution? So let's see if that does anything. We were getting about 13 frames, 12 frames. Let's do a playback. There you go, that fixed it. Now we're playing it back at 24 frames a second. So another successful optimization hack to fix what we were dealing with. Let's just say, let's take it back to off. What else? So let me show you one more way to go about it, which would be grabbing this clip, finding it in your media pool right here, and then right clicking on it and say generate optimized media. So this is what it's going to do. It's going to go through and create a transcoded file, and then it will replace it on top of this clip. Now the problem with this process, as you can see right here, is that it's going to be optimizing the entire clip, and the entire clip is very long. So look at how long it's going to take to optimize the entire clip, and that's not what we probably want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel it. So you can see optimized media would be the last choice. I would look it through proxies, which was right here under playback proxy mode, where we can just on the fly make it half resolution and play it back. I would also drop my resolution down to 1080p. And by doing those two things and just making sure nothing is running in the background, Resolve is the only application, you should be able to get the most out of whatever system you're using Resolve on.